We just heard from Dawn about the importance of sharing the gospel and some ways of doing that. And that is the core reason of Care Week. We want to share the gospel. We want to make Jesus known. We want to glorify him. But I think a crucial part of that is connecting with the campers. That has to be one of your first goals when you meet the campers, because if you don't have a connection with them, it's going to make it sharing the gospel that much harder to do. Because think about you in your own life. You are more likely to trust someone, believe what they're saying, to listen to them in full when you have a relationship with them, when you know them. Kids are the same way. They want to know you, and you're gonna have more ground to stand on when you actually have that relationship. And it doesn't matter that you're just meeting them on Tuesday and you're trying to share the gospel within 4 days of meeting them. The timeline doesn't matter when it comes to connecting with campers. It depends on how you use your time. And I know for some of you, the idea of working with kids is not your favorite part of Care Week. You're like, Chase, I'm not a kids person. I get kids can be scary. They make fun of you. I get it. But kids can also be really fun, and they have some really great insight. And it's one of my favorite things about working with kids is hearing that childlike faith come through and their joy. They don't take things as seriously as we do as adults, and it can be really refreshing. And they're little, so really they can't do anything. They might say something funny or rude because sometimes they are just straight out honest, even if it's brutal. But they can be really fun. And this year, we have the really great opportunity of spending even more time with the campers, because you're going to stay with the same kids the whole week. So those relationships are going to be critical. And so the first few days, especially when they're first coming in, that's not changing. You're still just going to try to get to know the campers. As they're coming up, asking them questions, oh, hey, what's your name? And then once you learn their name, you got to start using their name. Their name goes a lot because they feel cared for, they feel seen. And trust me, I don't remember every kid's names, but they have a name tag. So just do a quick glance and use their name. They won't even know you looked at their name tag, but they'll hear their name and feel cared for. So once you introduce yourself and you hear their name, start using their names in conversations, and then welcome them back day by their name. But then also ask them questions. Oh, where do you go to school? What sports do you like to play? What's your favorite color? Those really basic questions, just to show that you're taking an interest in the kids, that you're wanting to get to know them. Normally I ask what grade they're in, but you guys can't take that one this year because you're in a single grade. But ask them questions, where you go to school, and then genuinely listen to their answers. Oh, you go to Watkins? No way, that's where I went to school. You play soccer? Guess what? When I was your age, I also played soccer, but I might have cried up and down the field line, so you're probably better than me. Using those connections, obviously you can tell them about yourself. You want to keep it appropriate what you're telling them. Use kid-friendly language, but tell them about yourself because they also want to get to know you. And a relationship is two-sided. So make sure you are asking questions, finding those things, and then when you're listening, genuinely listening, eye contact, not just, okay, yeah, but like, oh, really? No way. Those really fun things. That's going to help draw the kid in. And I really want to emphasize that first day or so mainly is just getting to know them. I know when I was a student in your guys' shoes, I was often focused on how can I share the gospel, or I want to make sure I can have these gospel conversations. And those are great, and we should strive to show Jesus and talk about him and present the gospel, and hopefully, prayerfully, we're going to see some salvations. But don't let you being so concerned about sharing the gospel detract from you forming the relationships with the kids, because that is huge. And even if you don't get the chance to fully share the gospel and go through the whole salvation story, just you showing kindness to the kids will go a long way. Just you showing kindness and love and connecting with them is going to show Jesus. Because Jesus was kind, he listened, he loved people, and we should be striving to do the same things with these kids. And these kids, the younger ones, are going to be so easy to connect to. They're going to be clingy. They're going to be wanting hugs, obviously side hugs, keep it appropriate. But they're going to be all over you. They're going to love you. Now, you in the older grades, you're like, okay, but maybe they don't have the cuteness factor and they don't connect as well. They still want that connection. They still need that connection. And it just may not happen as quickly. And that is okay. It's just a matter of continually showing up, taking an interest, getting to know them. And some of you guys might have a really easy time connecting with kids, and some of you guys may not. And that's also okay. That's one of the nice things is we know in Scripture that we are made differently. We all have our strengths and our talents. Don't let your, I'm not a kid person, detract you from connecting with the kids. Be in prayer that you would have eyes to see the kids that the Lord placed in your group for that reason. Because he placed you in the grade that you are in for a reason. It wasn't Ethan, it wasn't Tyler. It was the Lord working through them to place you in second grade. He said, I want Macy in second grade because I have a second grader who I think could really connect with Macy, even if it doesn't mean sharing the gospel. And so for the kids who are also a little hard to interact with, you're kind of having to pull the words out, they're not really wanting to do anything. Those are hard, but they also need to have a connection. They also deserve to have your attention. And so make sure you are still just staying persistent in getting to know them, asking them questions. And then as you're asking them questions and finding those bridges, once you start the initial, the rest is going to be so much easier. It's just getting that connection started. Because then after the first day or two, and once you have a better connection with them, then they're going to come running up and they're going to be like, oh, I'm so excited to see you. And then they're going to start telling you things. I did this last night, or I did that. And it's going to be really fun. That initial thing is just the hardest part. I also like when you are working with kids and you're trying to build that connection, maybe it's a sport that you don't do great at. Maybe you're like, I really don't want to go play baseball. Personally, I don't want to see myself on the baseball field. I would not do well. But still make it fun for the kids. Maybe you're playing and maybe you swing and totally miss the ball. Make fun of yourself. Be like, oh man, just be over dramatic. And when you show that the kids that you're having fun and you're laughing at yourself, not only is that going to help the kids like, oh, she's funny. Oh, they're funny. It's going to help build the connection, but it's also going to help the campers feel okay, like, oh, it doesn't matter if I'm good at the sport or not. I missed the ball. It's okay. My leader did the same thing. Like, make fun of yourself. It's fun to laugh. Care Week is supposed to be an enjoyable time. These kids want to laugh. They want to have fun. So make fun of yourself. Because honestly, if you don't, they're probably going to do it too. So really just prepare yourself for it. So just get to do that. I also, one simple line when you're really trying to like start a conversation, I'll be like, oh, I really like your shirt. Give them a compliment, like your shirt, your shoes, something. And then maybe not so much with the older kids. You could try it with the older kids. Some older kids respond well to it, but especially with the younger, I'll be like, oh, do you think they make it in my size? And they'll be like, no, you're too big. No way. Like, I know it sounds crazy. I know you're like, guys, that's stupid. Like, I know, like, they don't make it in your size, although sometimes I really wish. But kids are going to think it's funny. So those stupid things that you think have no purpose, you're like, no, why would I ever say that? They go a lot. And so it's really just a matter of building connections. And it's not just on you. It's not just about you building connections with all the campers. You're not going to have a connection with everyone in your grade, and that is okay. We aren't meant to. We're different people. We have different strengths, different talents, different interests. The goal is as a team, as a grade, that you are connecting with all the students. But it's not just about Owen connecting with 50% of them. Owen is just going to try to connect with a few. And then Emily's going to try to connect with a few. Like, you guys are working as a team to connect. And welcome those kids in. Maybe the kids who are sitting on the sideline, welcome them in to the conversation. Make it a group conversation. And not only is that going to help you connect with the campers, but it's also going to help the campers connect with each other. And there's a lot of power in that too. And that's going to make it even more fun for the campers, and it's going to build that relationship, and you're just showing Christ. Because Christ welcomed in the outcast. He welcomed those in who were sitting off to the sideline. So we should be striving to do the same. So once you build those connections, don't be so focused on only pursuing and connecting with those campers that you have that connection with, but also get to know the other campers. But don't force connections. Don't feel like you have to connect with every single student. But as a grade, I really challenge you to make sure you have an eye for all of the campers. Don't force them into anything, I know almost all of you in here, if actually I think I know just about everyone. You guys are great, and if you just show up your authentic self, the kids are going to love that. You just have to be okay being a little bit goofy, doing some weird dances, maybe singing some songs, playing some games. I know you're like, too cool for that, Chase. I get it. You might be, but for Care Week, it's a mission. You are serving the Lord. So be willing to be a little stupid and funny and going out of your comfort zone. Like, it's okay. Obviously, within realm, within reign, not being overly crazy, but on a kid level. Because I know kids can be scary, but they really just like to have fun and they just want to get to know you. And that is a huge part, is building these connections with campers. Because even if you don't share the gospel, you're showing them Jesus and how you act and how you love them. So it's really, truly just, I know it can be intimidating, but just the eye contact, the asking questions, the taking a genuine interest in who they are. And for the older kids especially, they're growing to be a little bit more independent. They're starting to understand their interests. Start asking them more questions. Start asking them, oh, what do you like to do? Or, oh, how did you do this? Like the older ones might be a little harder to connect with at first, but they also really like conversations, even more than the little kids. And so I just encourage you to be fully present, fully engaged, not so focused on what's going on back at the church, not worried about, oh, I got to make sure I share the gospel, or, oh, I really hate this sport. I so don't want to do it. Like, there's a time for sitting off to the sides, but also engage. Give it your all, guys. Because I promise these campers, and I know there's so many of you guys that could testify to it, these campers, these connections will last. And there's some of them who they'll come back year after year and they're going to remember you because you made an impact. So just give it your all, pour your heart into it. And these kids, I haven't met all of them, but I've met a lot of them. They are really sweet kids. So don't let them scare you. And honestly, you're bigger than all of them for the most part. So like they really can't do anything besides maybe give you an offensive comment, but they're just kids. They don't mean anything by it. So that is all I have for you. If you have more specific questions or if you're struggling, feel free to ask me either during the week or as they come up. But I really encourage you to be praying that you would have eyes open to see the kids that the Lord is bringing to you specifically, and that you would have a heart willing to interact and build connections with these kids. Thank you.